Hi, my name's Kelly Gilson, and I'm the Executive Director of United Way Oxford. I invite you to join us on our new Let's Talk Local Oxford series. We'll share everything about United Way Oxford, our work, our partners, our investments, and how everything we do is designed to create positive social change right here at home in Oxford County. Not only do we want to share, but we hope to inspire you to join in our efforts and learn ways in which you too can show your local love. So, let's talk local, Oxford.
Woodstock Libro Credit Union is the proud sponsor of Let's Talk Local Oxford.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Local, Oxford. A quick thank you to Libro Credit Union, who are our sponsors for the United Way Oxford podcast, and we are so grateful for their generous support to help us do what we do and help get the word out about United Way Oxford and our wonderful partners in the community so we can share those good news stories. Today, we will be chatting with representatives from one of our funded program partners, a longtime funded program partner actually, which is the program is the Navy League and Sea Cadets of Canada. And joining us today, we have with us Loretta Walters, who is the branch secretary, and Lieutenant Navy Hannon, who is a training officer and with the Royal Canadian Sea Cadet Corps. And so welcome to you both. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
This is what, in our little United Way world, we think of this program, or actually it's a few programs merged into one, and you're going to explain that to us. But we think of this in lots of ways as just this best kept secret. And so this is a wonderful opportunity for us to share with our community a little bit about what the programs and services that you offer, what they actually are, and how they impact children and youth across our community, and really the benefits. And so it's been a pleasure for us for years to help you do what you do. And so to just kick it off from the very start, can you tell us a little bit about what the Navy League and the Sea Cadet programs are?
We're a naval themed program for youth. We service children from 9 to 18. They're in two different groups of kids. Our young kids are 9 to 12-year-olds, and our older kids are 12 to 18. Both corps have a weekly night where they meet. They also have the ability to join band. Both corps have the ability to do camps. Both corps have the ability to do a lot of extracurricular activities that a lot of our kids just wouldn't have an opportunity to do outside of the cadet program. Our program is free to the user.
Which is so important, because there are very few free programs out there for anyone, let alone you.
Yeah, I agree.
And the financial challenges now more than ever before, that's a real barrier and burden for some families to bear. They don't have the resources. So 100% free.
100% free to the user. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of kids just come for that one night to hang out with their cadet friends. There are other kids that really dedicate themselves to the programs and really get a lot out of it. So
I think before I started with United Way a long time ago, and before I was really familiar with your program, I perhaps would have just assumed that the program is really geared to those who are envisioning a career within the Navy, the Canadian Navy, that's their career aspirations. And I think for some youth it is, but it doesn't have to be, does it? Like, you really have a broad cross-section of youth that are attracted to your programs.
I think that's a real misconception that we expect people to join the military. We are definitely a community organization. We do have themes, and we do expect our cadets to learn a respect for the military and what we have accomplished. But if you take a look at what we teach and what the United Way has helped us to actually become, you would find that the leaders of our community are coming from these 9 to 18-year-olds that are going to be joining the workforce, are going to be heading committees, and are actually spearheading some initiatives to help their fellow students, to help their people in their communities at large.
Doug, I think actually, just to build off what you said, one of the great things when I witnessed some of the impact of your program, and through the years we've had the pleasure of meeting many former program participants and cadets as they've graduated out, that your programs build a sense of confidence and a self-esteem and commitment to others. It really is foundational. Those good, strong community skills. It's foundational to the work you do, isn't it?
A lot of our goal is to help our youth find the ability to bring themselves self-discipline, as well as the self-confidence. We want them to feel the sense of community, and a lot of kids just feel so disconnected that in this program, we try to bring them into the community where they can see that there's more than just themselves, their family, their street, right? We also want them to feel a sense of belonging, not only to the Cadet Corps, but to the community themselves, to their country, to everybody. Mm-hmm. Because they have a sense of belonging. We've just got to bring it out to them and show them that they belong here. And we also work very hard to keep our children active. So there is a lot of physical activities towards this program. Like one night a month they do sports nights.
Yes.
Both corps do sports nights. Doug, do you want to talk about the sports
Now,
nights?
the sports nights are just fun nights for them. We keep them active, dodgeball, baseball, floor hockey, and it's an integral part to keep the mind sharp. Body has to follow. So it's an actual wonderful thing. And for the Sea Cadets in particular, we have things like orienteering. We have nights where we'll go out and just do a hike. So there are things that keep them active, and it also keeps them wanting to come back. So it is a lot of fun. It's something that we strive for.
The best youth programs are these fun programs that have great learning, but it's really about the fun, and they forget that it's learning right at the same time.
We have a sales center for our kids to use. Unfortunately, because of the way things are in the world right now, it was only our younger kids that were able to use the sales center this summer. But one night they were out and they decided to do a fun sale. So rather than put the kids out to sail, they put them out on two teams out on the boats. And there was Team Fruin and Team Vandermeer. And the officers were sitting on the front of the boat, and they had put buoys out. So the kids had to row the boats around the buoys and get the officer back. The team that was back first obviously won, right? Again, physical. It brings them teamwork into it.
Absolutely.
Gives them a sense of belonging to that team. And the kids actually several times over the summer asked to redo that again, because they had so much fun doing it.
There's a song about that, row, row. But that's a great example of the benefits of the Sea Cadets and the Navy League programs. I mean, the sales center, there's band, there's so many components in your programs, your free programs for families in the community, and that they can really engage and grow themselves, right? Like, so that if they do want career opportunities, or even career opportunities as students, that's a possibility, right? Well,
and you bring that up, and it just so happens I was invited last week to a webinar. Unfortunately, when you're sworn into the services right now, you're only allowed to bring one other person with you. So she chose to bring her mom. But she thought it was important that we know she had joined after being one of our cadets for 9 years. So she did send me a request to watch her join the services. And that was last Tuesday she joined. She's finished university. She has a degree. She came out, found it hard to find a job she wanted to do, started to reconsider life. And it's like, you know what? Maybe the Navy is where I need to be for a little while. She had that discipline, that structure and everything as a teenager through the program. and she found herself in a situation where she wasn't sure what she wanted to do. So she came back to the program. Unfortunately, we can't take her as a 24-year-old.
It speaks about laying the groundwork and the work that you do. And I think the other thing, you are, because you're a free program, which is super important to mention to folks, but you are also a volunteer-led program.
We are completely volunteer run. And with thanks to the United Way, we're able to run our programs and do fundraising as an extra rather than fundraising to try and make sure we've got the money to keep the program and the doors open for the next week.
Because that's hard slugging, and
it is,
and you probably wouldn't have the stability or the funding to do it.
And realistically, if we had to do fundraising on our own, we probably wouldn't continue to support financially the sales center, because that costs money, right? Because we're United Way funded, we're allowed to keep a lot of these programs up and going that may suffer if without it. So the United Way has a huge impact on our program.
I'd like to add something, though, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
One thing that you'll note with the Sea Cadets in particular is how the leadership changes. We've mentioned how fun things are, but you'll notice that the cadets who go up through the ranks, our chiefs, our petty officers, they transform. They become, we call them transformational leaders. They do it because it's the right thing to do. They do it because they believe in what they're doing. And where the United Way really shines in this is we had a chief petty officer come up with an idea. Unfortunately, we had a tragedy with our corps and we lost a cadet. We didn't want to ever see that again. So he came to the United Way and he asked for funding to help us get mental health first aid. You'll be astonished. And what it showed us is that people like teenagers, youth, are going to their own ages to get help. This actually gave our program and our cadets, more importantly, the tools to actually intervene and help two cadets who may have been lost in the shuffle. It got them the help they needed. It got them to a place where they weren't alone anymore. They had a voice. As much as I want to say that everything we do is fun, I think it's the proudest moments of my life when our cadets, the youth of this community, take it upon themselves to better it because it's the right thing to do. And without United Way funding, we simply wouldn't have that.
Okay, Doug. First of all, let me say that I'm familiar with the history, and my condolences for the loss of a member who was just a young person at the time, and I know how hard that was on your volunteers, your entire team, and certainly on the youth in your program. But when we talk about impact, you just completely explained it in such a heartfelt way, the impact, the lifelong impact on these young people, that they are there to help each other, that they were able to get the supports they needed to ensure that their friends got the supports that they needed. That was I know that is such a difficult topic, and unfortunately it is a topic that our community is all too familiar with. Probably every community is familiar with, and you said it so beautifully that the support is there, and the youth were able to learn and know what to do and how to access services. And so thank you for telling us that, because that's another example of why these programs matter. And the programs are more than maybe what you just see at face value, which is great, which is fantastic, but there's so much depth below the surface and the relationships and all that. So thank you so much.
And I'm sure Doug can attest that there's been many nights we've been down at our ship at Southside Park. You're welcome to come and sign up for our free program there. And we've had industry leaders and business leaders walk in and go, you know what, I just kind of wanted to see the place again. It's been so long since I've been here. I was a cadet and it helped. And like, these are leaders in our community currently. The program is a
lifelong impact right there. Yeah, and just another plug. It is the ship. It's called the ship. It's Southside Park. It is not actually a ship, but it's a blue long building in the middle of Southside Park, and that's where all your programming comes out of.
Mm-hmm.
And so for people that have been in Woodstock in particular for a long time, they will know it as the ship. We've had so many new people come to our community,
and we'd love to see them
fantastic.
come and visit us.
It is a great place for youth to go, and so for families and parents are welcome to go and check it out. It's a wonderful program, and it is helping and supporting and engaging with really children and youth of all different backgrounds and experiences. There's you draw from all over the community, don't you?
We do. All creeds, all religions, all nationalities are welcome to come. You don't have to be a Canadian citizen to be part of our program.
That's correct. We want everyone to feel involved. And again, since we're not a military organization, we don't expect anyone to join the military. We are here to help build up the community. The community is what matters. The Canadian citizens are what matter. When I took my oath, it was to uphold the dignity of the citizens of Canada.
That sense of belonging is so important to people of all ages. And it's foundational for making a community home. And so we are so proud of the work that you do. We're proud that we can be a little piece of it, but we do know that our funding is really the lion's share of the funding that you have to deliver your programs. And we know our donors are very proud of the work that you do, as are we. So thank you both for joining us today and sharing a little bit about the program. I think it's particularly important for folks that might not have really known about the program, because as I said in the beginning, it is the best kept secret. And it's there and it's available, and I urge people to go and learn a little bit more. So Loretta and Doug, thank you for joining us. Thank you and your team of volunteers for all the work they do with the Navy League and Sea Cadets of Canada here in Woodstock, and the lives that you change and make better day after day, and how you adapt to what you need to do based on the needs of the youth you serve. So we're proud you're part of our team. Thank you. And for those listening at home, please know that we will have upcoming episodes where we'll continue to share the work of our partners and our funded organizations, and how we work together, United Way and these community groups, to truly build a healthy, strong Oxford County, to have lasting positive impact and to help change lives, and we do it together. So thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions about this podcast, please don't hesitate to reach out to Mike at unitedwayoxford.ca. Once again, I would like to thank Libro Credit Union for their generous support. And finally, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Let's Talk Local Oxford. Take care. Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Local Oxford. If you would like to learn more about United Way Oxford, our work, our engagement, our volunteer opportunities, our partners, or to even make a donation, please visit unitedwayoxford.ca or call our office. We love to chat, and we really love visitors too. If, however, you find yourself needing a hand to locate a program or a service, please call 211, our information and referral service. They're there to connect you to local supports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Remember, 211, they are there to help. Until next time, join with us by showing your local love. We all could use a little more of that. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Local Oxford, proudly sponsored by Woodstock Libro Credit Union.